Hello, YouTube. Omar here once again with the first of 14 Kershaw Discontinued knives in the second half of this collection. And what we are looking at today is the Kershaw Ricochet 1520 ST for serrated. Yeah. And this one is kind of super special. Because this one's the very first knife I ever collected when I first started collecting Kershaws. This is a turning point for me in my knife collecting. At this point in time, this is the very first Kershaw discontinued knife I had ever gotten my hands on. And it was a turning point for me because before this knife came along, my collection made absolutely no sense. Basically, I just had a bunch of Kershaw knives that were spring assisted. They weren't even discontinued. They were just spring assisted. I didn't care what kind of knife it was. If it was a Kershaw knife and it was spring assisted, I had to have it. And then one day I was walking at a Goodwill store here in Washington. Goodwill is one of those, I guess it's one of those like public pawn shops, I guess, where people just come in and they throw their stuff out. And the store basically, whatever money the store makes goes to charity. From basically, it's where you take your old junk and then you send it off to them, and then whatever money they make from their sales at that store goes to charity. And I came across this knife with the silver box, and I'd never seen a knife with the silver box with the American flag, and this was the knife that got me going. And I decided that from this point on I would collect discontinued Kershaw knives only. So I wound up selling off my entire Kershaw spring-assisted collection for this collection that you see that I have been reviewing over the past week and a half. So this particular knife is kind of special. It's the Ken Onion Ricochet knife, and this knife is actually a 25th anniversary edition knife. It's really a look back into the past, this knife. The steel on this knife is CPM 440V. As you can see, again, the knife is designed by Ken Onion. The scales on this is G10. It feels kind of like wood, but it's G10. Very smooth. It doesn't have very grippy texture. I wouldn't be using this knife like outdoors or anything because it doesn't have any grip or any texture, which leads me to believe it was actually made as a collectible. Because this knife, when it originally retailed, the knife, I believe, went for $89.99. Now the knife goes for $300. Because it's 25th anniversary edition. The knife was released in 1998. So I was commemorating the Kershaw's 25th anniversary because Kershaw started in 1974. So this was also considered the knife of the year. So you can look that up. One thing I haven't been doing when I do my reviews, and maybe I should, I'm going to do that right now, is I haven't been doing any size comparisons with any knives that are popular today. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Here is the ZT 801 Blackwash, one of my favorites. As you know, ZT is a premium steel company owned by Kershaw. And right over here we have the Spyderco Mantra in CPM M4. And let's do another one. for flavor, here is the ZT 0900. That one's also discontinued. All right, so let's talk about this knife for a little bit. What's interesting to know about this knife is it's strictly a collectible. I don't believe that this is actually a knife anybody would actually want to use or carry anymore. That's not to say it's not a knife, but this is back when the time before knives became flashier than they are now, before they had all the KBT ball bearing system and all that, you know, the flash and the different blade shapes and I mean, this is before that time. So this knife is strictly looked at as a tool rather than a work of art like most of the knives are right now. So it's basically more of like a, you know, again, it was made as a collector's piece, and it's still a collector's piece. Yeah, like I said, it's G10 scales with 440V steel. Blade length on this knife is 3.1 inches. Trying to get my camera to focus so you can see some of the writing on there. Come on, focus, focus. There you go. A little bit of focus. It's patent pending. So if you come across this knife somewhere, or you see this knife someplace, not necessarily on eBay, because if you look on eBay, it's ridiculously priced now. I got a hold of the serrated version. I was very lucky. I would kill to get the straight blade version of this knife. The knife, just so you know, which I didn't want to make sure I didn't forget to mention, the knife is a spring assist, as you can see. Spring assist. It only has one thumb stud on one side, but you can unscrew that and turn it from a right-handed knife over to a left-handed knife. So there you go. On the other side, there's no thumb stud. And then on this side, there's the thumb stud. This is not a frame lock knife, folks. It's a liner lock, so let's take a good look at that. I'm going to try and move my phone. I do apologize. I am doing this freehand. As you can see, there's a liner lock, and the lockup is, I'm going to say it's like 15 to 20% lockup, maybe. It's got jimping right on that finger choil there. For a knife that's so slippery, you figure they'd have more jimping, and this basically has no jimping anywhere except on the finger choil. So it's a little bit difficult to get a good grip on. But as I said before, it is a collectible that goes anywhere from $250 to $300. So, and when I forgot to mention, don't be jealous, folks, but I forgot to mention, when I picked this up at Kershaw, when I picked up this Kershaw at the Goodwill store, I actually bought it for $4. First knife I ever got, so maybe it was kismet that I started this collection, because all the other knives that I had gotten after this were nowhere near $4, believe me. You know, the knife it's like I said, it's 1998, so it's a really old knife. But the fit, the finish, and the quality is there for an old knife. I didn't have any problems with it. The most I've done with this knife was cut paper with it. Like I said, the steel is old steel, CPM 440V steel, which, as you know, it eventually became S60V. So it was also old school steel. Let's get a shot at the pocket clip. The pocket clip kind of looks like a black washed, even though it's all blacked out. It really looks more like a dark black wash to me for the pocket clip. So there you have it. One more quick shot, look at the box. That's the Kershaw Ricochet 1520 ST. Another Ken Onion design. Knife of the year, 1998. And I just wanted you to get a good look at that. So there you have it. I'll be back again next time for another Kershaw discontinued blade. And this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off once again. Happy hunting, everybody, for your knives. Over and out. Have a good day.